Hello. In this video, we're going to go over using the CloneStamp tool. So what I have right here, I'm going to go ahead and select the CloneStamp tool. This is a different tool which is located underneath the brush tool. Keyboard shortcut is S on your keyboard. With this tool, you are able to put the finished results on its own layer. So I want to do that. I'm going to create a new layer. Let's go ahead and rename this one to CloneStamp. And in my options, what I want to do is I want to change the sample. By default, it says current layer. I'm going to tell it to current and below, meaning to sample any layer that is turned on that is underneath it. So this will allow me to be able to put my result on a separate layer so we could see what happens. What this tool does, this makes an exact one-to-one copy of your pixels, and you can place it wherever you want it to. Uh, First thing that you need to do, you need to sample an area. So say for example, let's see, we'll start off in the front down here with this one right here. Say if we want to clone it, we have to hold down Option or Alt to get this tool right here. I'm going to click on it, click, and then using your brush, using your to make a larger brush size, I'm going to use the square brackets. And right now, if I just click right here, you notice that you get, I'm holding down my left mouse button, you get a cursor plus a little crosshair. The crosshair is where you originally sampled. Once you let go, this made an exact copy. Now, depending on what settings you have in the option, right in here I have align turned off, meaning that I could potentially make another copy of the original area that I have selected. Once I let go, it creates one. As I continue to go, it's making an exact copy, pixel for pixel, the color as well. For example, if I go up here, it's not trying to blend this in. In fact, if I go outside of it, you can see that it's copying those pixels exactly. If I turn off Align, what happens is that I'm going to hold down Option or Alt. I'm going to click right here. So now that's been aligned. Let's see, let me select a different area. Let me select the water bottle. If I click right here, Option, and then I want to copy this water bottle right here. Now that it's aligned, wherever I go, it's already still aligned. Now you see, well, this is a second water bottle, which is just right here. But if I go up, it's still following that same area. Like say, for example, here's this eye. If I go over here, there it is. So it's always aligned. So it's basically copying the same placement. So I could potentially continue to copy that image, and it's just copying over and over. You can see we go back to this water bottle. You see we're back there. That's with it aligned. Now the way that you're able to use this tool, it could be really handy. Like say for example, I know this tool works really good. I want to say, what if I want to copy this person? I want to extend this walkway. So I'm gonna say, well, I want to sample right here, over here, this area. Click, and now I'm gonna move this because I get that little preview. I want to try to line them up, and I'm just holding down my mouse button. Aligned is still turned on. Now this just I know that this is just happening to work pretty good. And so I'm going to copy this information there. But notice that you see this line right here, that line is already on the road. Now I'm going to continue to copy towards the right, and you can see that area where that person was previously at. We're basically bringing him back. So I want all the way to the edge right here. Now we'll go over the eraser tool to erase them. You can see right here I'm erasing them because I haven't gone over yet. It's copying those pixels to the left. So I want to copy this. There's a green wall back there that I don't necessarily want to copy. but we'll copy some of it because we want to get rid of some of those pixels. But this just copied those pixels one for one. Let me hide this. You can see this is what was copied. One for one. This could be a good opportunity to briefly mention the eraser tool. There is an eraser tool within Photoshop. It works just like other tools in that you have the size and a hardness. Right now my hardness is set to 50%. You can see in the background how it's starting to, I want to get rid of some of that. So I'm slowly going over the areas to try to eliminate some of that information. And get us close. Ah, you see, we brought his head back. Uh-oh. No worries. Let's just use our CloneStamp tool to cover that head. So say, for example, let's see, what should we cover it? With this information here, let's switch back to our CloneStamp tool. Right here, I'm going to sample, sure, let's add, yeah, go right here. Let's try here. Click. And so I'm going to just click over that area. Just adding this new information here. Now remember, this is an exact copy. If I want to, I can go back to my eraser tool. I can create a smaller eraser that's going to have more of a softer edge. You can see the before and after. So this is the CloneStamp tool. It allows you to copy pixels one to one. If I want to copy, if I want to go back to Command or Control Plus, there's different tools on how you can use them. I'm going to hold down, let's see, I'll make sure that I'm using my CloneStamp tool. And hold down Option or Alt, click right here. Remember, this isn't a one-to-one copy. It's an exact copy of your pixels. So this is grass, so that works. But if you are trying to copy something, it's going to look like an exact copy of what you're doing. So going back to this little area right here, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. And say, for example, here, let me start off right here. I'm going to copy that portion. Go right here. And I'm going to copy, let's see, let's copy some of this area and get rid of that car. Copy some of this over here. Maybe I'll copy this car that's right there to try to hide that information. Let's copy some of the bottom of those cars. I'm going to make my brush a little bit smaller. Look at that. I can maybe copy just this for the arm. Undo. I didn't like that one. Copy these pixels right here. Hide that arm. And now we just have to, or we just leave his legs. Now, one thing when you're using this, make sure that you don't make a copy that's too close to one another, because you might get, you see this little thing right here? If I copy this over and over again, typically when you don't have a line turned on, so I'll do this again. I'm going to sample right here. And if I keep on doing this, you might end up creating patterns, and humans are really good at pattern recognition. I could start to see that, and it kind of ruins the illusion that we're trying to create. We're trying to make these things seamless. But remember, this is just copying those pixels, an exact copy of those pixels from one area to another. So if I had something like, say, for example, this texture of this grass right here, and if I copy this over and over again, we'll start to see that texture play out, and especially when we zoom out, we'll start to see it. It pops out. So heed the warning. But these are different tools that you'll be able to use to further manipulate uh, the pixel information within your panorama. In the next video, I'm going to put all these different tools to work to clean up this video. So I do hope that you've been following along and you've been trying this out on your own image or even on the image that I'm supplying right here so that you're able to learn how to use it before you actually apply it onto your own panorama. Okay, so we'll have one more video for this modules, and we'll see you there.